There are people who walk into a room like a soft sunrise, warmth, calm, a smile that rearranges tension into ease. They are the ones everyone wants at the table, generous with attention, quick with a joke, patient when others fumble. But sometimes the gentlest surface hides an immovable core, a person whose kindness is not weakness, but a shield around resolute purpose. This script explores that paradox, the nicest yet deadliest chosen one, someone whose compassion is real, whose mercy runs deep, and whose limits are ironclad. They can love like water and cut like a scythe, and they carry a presence that both comforts and commands. If this message landed in your life at the perfect hour, consider it a sign. And if it helped, please subscribe for more deep dives into spiritual power, human nature, and the subtle signs people carry. Hit the subscribe button, and if this reached you when you needed it most, type 11 in the comments for a simple ritual of acknowledgement and a moment of divine gratitude. Now breathe, pay attention, and let's walk slowly through 9 unmistakable signs that the person you're with is both the kindest soul you've known and the deadliest force you would never provoke. 1. They offer forgiveness but not repetition. At first glance, their forgiveness looks limitless, almost disarming in its sincerity. You can hurt them, disappoint them, or fall short, and they'll extend a hand of grace with an openness that feels almost divine. They accept apologies, not in a half-hearted way, but with the kind of warmth that truly communicates. It's okay, I understand, you're human. Their mercy is real. It springs from a heart that believes deeply in the possibility of human growth and second chances. But here's the critical difference: that mercy is not a revolving door, not an endless hall pass for the same wounds to be inflicted again and again. Their forgiveness is a lesson, a classroom, an invitation to transformation. They are willing to heal with you, to walk alongside you as you rebuild broken trust, but they are not willing to keep reopening the same wound. When the same harm returns unchanged, when apologies become habits instead of revelations, their kindness shifts gears. They do not explode, nor do they drown in bitterness. Instead, they take decisive surgical action. They will remove you from their circle quietly but firmly, ensuring you cannot continue to harm them or the people they guard. Their no is not a performance, it is final, dignified, and free of drama. This is their deadliness, not violent revenge, but precise closure. They do not weaponize anger, they weaponize boundaries. Their mercy has limits because it is designed not to perpetuate cycles of harm, but to end them. 2. They listen like a priest and decide like a general. There is something holy in the way they listen. When you speak to them, their attention is undivided, their presence reverent, as if every word you share is a sacred confession. Their ear gathers your stories slowly, with patience, like a priest counting prayer beads one by one. You feel seen, not rushed, not judged, as though you've stepped into a sanctuary where your voice actually matters. This is why people trust them so easily, why strangers spill secrets, why friends seek counsel. But what lies beneath that calm is not mere softness, it is a sharp and discerning mind. While they are nodding, while they are letting you breathe, they are also cataloging, taking note of patterns, detecting loyalties, discerning betrayals. Their listening is both sanctuary and study. When the silence ends, when reflection gives way to decision, what comes next is deliberate, not reactive. They do not gossip or use what you've said as idle ammunition. They assess strategically, deciding who is safe, who is loyal, who must be held at arm's length. Their judgments are not noisy. They are tidal, like the ocean. Their decisions come with inevitability, steady, unstoppable, beyond your control. In personal relationships, This makes them someone you can trust with your deepest truths. In conflict, however, it makes them a figure you do not want to cross, because their next move will not be emotional guesswork, it will be strategic and effective. Their listening is the gentlest beginning of a deadliest process, understanding before acting, and then acting with unshakable clarity. 3. Their kindness is a practice, not a performance. Their kindness does not depend on spotlight or applause. It is not a spectacle to win favor, nor is it calculated to harvest attention. Instead, their benevolence lives in quiet practices, in consistent habits of care that almost never make it onto social media or into public recognition. They send healing texts at just the right time. They prepare meals for someone who cannot lift themselves out of despair. They drop off small acts of support at doorsteps, often without even taking credit. These actions don't scream, "Look at me," they whisper, "I care," even when no one is watching. That is the essence of their practice, intentionality without performance. And yet, it is precisely this quiet discipline that makes their kindness powerful. Because they are not motivated by theatrics, they cannot be manipulated by theatrics. Flattery, guilt trips, stage drama, none of it penetrates their resolve, because their generosity isn't about validation. They conserve their energy carefully, directing it only toward what truly matters, never wasting it on vanity or games. This conservation itself is a weapon. When someone breaks their trust or abuses their generosity, their withdrawal is not theatrical. There is no screaming, no slamming of doors. Instead, their retreat is structured, calm, and irrevocable. They step back with precision, sealing off access as a natural consequence, not a performance. And therein lies their deadliness. Their boundaries are not fragile walls that can be knocked down with begging or apologies. They are fortresses built of discipline, and crossing them means losing access to one of the purest sources of goodness you'll ever encounter. 4. They move with unobtrusive power. If you truly observe them, you'll notice something subtle yet profound about their presence. They don't storm into rooms demanding recognition, nor do they hunger for attention or dominance. And yet, when they arrive, the atmosphere rearranges itself almost automatically. Conversations shift, tensions soften, people lean in, smiles widen, arguments lose heat. What they carry is not merely charisma, it is quiet, practiced competence woven into their being. This composure, this calm efficiency, has been cultivated through storms and struggles. It is why, in moments of crisis, they emerge as stabilizers. While others panic or posture, they anchor the space, steadying the course with unshakable clarity. But make no mistake, this quiet power that soothes also has a sharper edge. A person who can calm storms with composure is also the kind of person who, when faced with betrayal or treachery, can respond with a level of precision that feels frighteningly inevitable. They do not boast about their control. They don't flex it for entertainment or ego. Instead, their influence moves subtly, redirecting outcomes, shaping decisions, resolving conflicts without spectacle. In friendships, they are the stabilizers. In organizations, they are the quiet architects of order. To allies, their presence feels like gravity, steady, grounding, undeniable. To adversaries, their silence is unnerving, their decisions unpredictable yet always effective. The deadliness of their power lies in its subtlety. They do not need to overpower you. They only need to outlast and outmaneuver, and they will. Quietly, surely, and without needing your permission. 5. They keep sacred things sacred, including their vulnerabilities. They are not careless with their heart, nor are they reckless with their past. When they open up, when they let you into the smaller rooms of their inner life, it is an act of sacred trust. You may receive a glimpse into a cherished memory, a scar's long history, or a confession of childhood fear. These are not casual disclosures, they are offerings, carefully chosen doorways that you are invited to enter. To be given such access is to be entrusted with something holy. Their vulnerability is not content for gossip, it is a covenant. That is why betrayal in this space cuts so deeply. If you mock, weaponize, or share their sacred stories without permission, you are not simply mishandling facts. You are desecrating what was consecrated. And their response, while swift, is not theatrical. They do not launch into public feuds or long justifications. They simply and categorically remove you from the inner sanctum. Distance becomes their safeguard, ensuring the wound doesn't widen and the trust is not trampled further. The deadliness here lies not in aggression but in unwavering protection of what they hold holy. Their sanctity is non-negotiable, and they will not debate or bargain about whether their sacred things deserve respect. Once you've crossed that line, you will find yourself shut out, not as punishment, but as preservation. To them, what is sacred is not up for compromise, and those who treat it lightly will never again be permitted within those hallowed rooms. 6. They speak softly but carry the hard truth. You won't find them thriving in confrontation for its own sake. Their tone is rarely loud, their words rarely cruel. When they speak truth, they wrap it in a softness that makes you feel safe enough to hear it, but don't mistake tenderness for dilution. Their truths are sharp, unflinching, and unedited. They will calmly show you where you falter morally, where your excuses hide, where the story you tell about yourself doesn't match your actions. And yet, even as they say it, there is no gloating, no desire to crush you, only a desire to heal. This combination makes their honesty a gift for those who are ready to grow, because what they offer is a mirror with compassion. But here's where the deadliness comes in. They do not keep persuading endlessly. If you resist, if you refuse to evolve, their truth becomes less like medicine and more like a verdict. They stop coaxing you toward awareness and instead begin protecting themselves and others from the harm you might cause. In that moment, their softness hardens into resolve. They can say the hardest thing with compassion and then act upon it without hesitation. They become both healer and executioner of illusions. Their deadliness does not lie in cruelty, but in the unwavering clarity to stop enabling falsehoods. When they cease persuasion, when they decide enough has been spoken, they act with a decisiveness that leaves no room for manipulation or excuses. Their words may be soft, but their follow-through is immovable steel. 7. They build quiet alliances and let consequences follow. Their influence doesn't grow through noise or vanity projects. Instead, they weave connections quietly, almost invisibly. They are builders of networks, not for status or applause, but for stewardship, the careful safeguarding of people, values, and causes. You'll notice how they link one friend with another, how they ensure resources are directed where integrity thrives, how they create circles of trust that support and protect. These alliances don't look flashy, they look like ordinary friendships, professional respect, or quiet collaborations. But underneath that ordinariness lies a structure, a lattice of accountability, a shield of community. And here lies the brilliance and the deadliness. When someone seeks to sabotage, to betray, or to undermine that community, the chosen one doesn't strike back with spectacle or revenge. They let the system they've built speak for itself. Consequences ripple outward, naturally and powerfully. The offender finds doors quietly closing, resources quietly redirected, support networks quietly evaporating. It isn't about dramatic retaliation, it's about systemic accountability that makes repeat harm impossible. Their alliances act like a living organism, protective, self-correcting, resilient. That's what makes them formidable. You cannot isolate them, you cannot outmaneuver them, because they are never standing alone. Their deadliness is not in vengeance, but in ensuring that harm cannot root itself in the soil of their community. They build so well that when betrayal happens, it collapses under the weight of its own futility. The chosen one doesn't need to shout or punish. They simply let the structures they've cultivated do the work of justice. 8. They don't seek revenge. They prevent your return. Revenge for most feels intoxicating. It promises satisfaction, a kind of fiery closure, but to them, revenge is small, petty, fleeting, unworthy of their energy. They see beyond the momentary satisfaction of hurting back because they know it doesn't change the cycle, it only feeds it. Their aim is higher, sharper, prevention. When the wound is deep, when betrayal repeats like a pattern rather than an accident, they don't plot retaliation. Instead, they focus on making sure the offender cannot re-enter the same space of harm. That might mean redefining a personal relationship so that access is permanently restricted. It might mean setting legal protections in place, drawing professional boundaries, enforcing social exclusions, or even restructuring entire systems so that the offender can no longer inflict damage. These measures are not taken with rage, but with a surgeon's calm precision. The intention isn't cruelty, it's safety. They protect themselves, yes, but also those they hold dear, and the integrity of the mission they were chosen to fulfill. Their decisions often read as prevention rather than punishment. This is what makes them so formidable. Their eye isn't on your suffering, but on the prevention of your return. That forward-looking calculus, that refusal to indulge in petty revenge, means their actions last. Once they've decided, once they've set those boundaries, there's no re-entry. The door is closed, not slammed in anger, but sealed with intention, and that makes their deadliness both quiet and permanent. 9. They hold an unshakable moral axis, and they will walk away from power if it corrupts them. At the center of their life is a moral compass that doesn't spin with trends or convenience. Their axis is firm, unshakable, grounded in principles they refuse to compromise. This is what makes them magnetic. People trust them because they are consistent, because they refuse to bend their integrity for expedience or applause. But here's where their gentleness turns deadly. This axis is not negotiable. They will accept cost, loneliness, and even exile rather than violate their inner law. You cannot buy them off with charm, bribe them with influence, or seduce them with power. If you attempt to pull them into corruption, they will not hesitate to cut ties, walk away, or dismantle what's been built, rather than be complicit. This makes them ruthlessly consistent in ways that unsettle those who thrive in gray zones. For them, the end never justifies the means. If a path requires betraying their values, they abandon the path. If an ally turns poisonous, they sever the tie. And they do so without regret, because to them, nothing outweighs the preservation of their moral field. Their deadliness lies precisely here, in their refusal to bend, even when bending would be easier, more profitable, or more popular. They will sacrifice comfort and status rather than compromise truth. That integrity functions as both shield and sword, protecting them from corruption while cutting off those who seek to manipulate them. To those who waver endlessly, their presence feels intimidating because it reveals how much power lies in simply standing unmovable. If you find yourself on the receiving end of this kind of person's kindness, don't mistake it for weakness. Appreciate the generosity, be grateful for the lessons, and mirror their integrity by holding your own. If you have been careless with their trust, seek repair honestly, but understand that some thresholds once crossed repeatedly, close forever. The kindest chosen ones are not monsters, they are guardians. The deadliest part of them is their fidelity to truth, to protection, and to boundaries. Cross them and you will not find melodrama, you will find the quiet and thorough removal of threat. This is the Alchemy of Awareness channel. If this resonated, please subscribe for more content that digs into human character, spiritual strength, and the line between mercy and consequence. If this arrived at the right time for you, type 1111 in the comments to anchor a moment of gratitude. Share it with someone who needs to see both the tenderness and the teeth of true strength. Stay humble, stay honest, and remember, the kindest people are often the ones you don't want to test. Thank you for watching.